What's up, guys? Welcome to our season finale of Season 2 here on NGR Radio's Pod and Play. Remember, you can find Pod and Play every Saturday on ngrradio.com and on youtube.com/ngrradio at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We are playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. We are playing the PS4 version, although this started out as a Microsoft exclusive, which is an interesting story we will definitely get into here on this episode. But I wanna say, like, I'm playing on a Pro, so I'm gonna go through some of these options here real quick. But when this game came out, I was we have had long conversations on how much we love that first game. And
yes,
you know, I mean, we played the first game as the first episode this season, so if you want to check that out, you should go check that out. But let's see, do I want enriched visuals? We'll go enriched visuals right now. Subtitles without color. But when this game came out, I mean, that first game was great, but I was blown away by this game. Like, I was seriously blown away by this game. I mean, it's probably why, like, I got an Xbox One, to be honest with you.
Same here.
Well, like, I got an Xbox One for Christmas from my parents, the Assassin's Creed bundle. But then, like, this game came out kind of shortly after, and I was blown away by this game. I mean, it was.
Dude, once I see Ori and the Blind Force, it's just like, okay, yeah, I definitely got to get work on getting the Xbox One. And then I seen Rise come, I was just like, that's certified it. Just like those were my two must-have games. It was Ori and Rise.
Yeah, and, like, I'm gonna flip through some of, like, the PS4 Pro features, and, like, I'm pretty sure they're pretty similar on the Xbox One X. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have an X yet, but you can make graphical fidelity adjustments. You can do 60 frames a second. You can do 4K enhanced visuals, but I know the 4K stuff kind of dips the frame rate to, like, 20, like, in between 25 and 30 most of the time, just because, like, I mean, this game is so incredibly detailed, and I mean, like, you look at this opening cutscene, and, like, when they showed off Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and they redid a Lara character model,
yeah,
I mean, that was, at the time, that was, like, the best visually impressive character model I had ever seen. And when you get to Rise of the Tomb Raider and the updates they kept making to the game, to the point where, like, they just released an Xbox One enhanced patch, like, what, 3 months ago? To the point where, like, I mean, you could see it here because they introduced the patch on PS4 Pro also. Like, Lara's character model is insane looking. Like, insane. It just looks so good.
Yeah. I'm surprised, just because this is like the 20th year edition on PS4, I believe.
Yeah.
And you know, they included everything, the original game and the DLC.
Yeah. And the PSVR stuff that's exclusive to PlayStation.
Yes.
Which, you know, I don't have a VR unit, but, you know, it's gosh, this game is so visually impressive. Like, when she walks, you can see, like, not only can you see her walking through the snow, but, like, the way her feet, like, if her feet skim the top of the snow, it takes a light layer of snow off. If she's trudging through the snow, you can see the thick footsteps walking through the snow with the snow falling back into it afterwards. Like, this game is incredibly impressive looking. Like, I mean, you can, I don't know if you can really tell from watching the YouTube video, but, like, the mountain that I'm looking up at right now, it's in the environments in this game are incredible. The wind blowing, like, they opened with this wind blowing sequence to show off the tech. You know?
Did you start a new game?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I want people to experience this from the beginning.
Alright, I'm going to.
My real save is on Xbox One anyway, but so but I just wanted people to see how visually impressive this is, because like for me this game is better looking on PS4 because I have an Xbox One S, right? And I don't get all those enhancements because I'm running on an S, whereas I do have a PS4 Pro and I get the visual enhancements through that. So
yeah,
it looks incredible. Like oh, I just jumped to my death. That was not good. Oh no, I didn't. Whoops. I mean, you see the dirt and the snow almost in real time on her coat. You know, like that was they opened with this sequence to show off the tech, similar to what God of War 2 did for PS2. You know, that's kind of what it almost reminds me of. Or like we're gonna open with this major kind of set piece to show off the tech, to show off what this system is still capable of doing. You know,
yes,
it's just impressive. So I think the snow physics are just fantastic in this game. And I was talking to Jeff Glasson about this, co-host of Nerds Gone Platinum. So if you're interested in PlayStation podcasts, that's I encourage you to go listen to it, but not too much, because we're still beating them by like an average of 100 downloads a week. So I mean, Pow Block, go listen to Pow Block, definitely. Nerds Gone Platinum, maybe once every other week or so. No, I'm just kidding. I want all of our shows to succeed equally. It's just like we were both like super impressed by the PS4 Pro enhancements they made, and like the lighting from this flare as I'm walking through this cavern right now is just. So, but like we said earlier, like we kind of began the show with, this game started as an Xbox One exclusive. Like,
yes.
Well, timed exclusive, I should say. So I don't know if you want to kind of talk about that, Ed, or not.
Okay, so when Rise of the Tomb Raider was shown at E3, it showed that it was exclusive at Xbox One, and so you know that got people really hyped and be like, "Oh, this is cool! Xbox snagged this game up." Problem was though, Fallout 4 was coming out, and so when Fallout 4 came out, that trumped Rise of the Tomb Raider. So sales for the game didn't really meet expectations, which means that there was a lower sales on the Xbox system. So we didn't know that it was going to be a time exclusive, because when we seen it at E3, it just said exclusive. Yeah. Later on down the line, the maybe by contract, the time had ran out, and it got announced for PS4, and it was going to be the 20th anniversary edition. So it was kind of like Game of the Year edition, like where they put all the content in. So because this game coming out in November against Fallout 4, it missed a lot of sales for it. So to make up the sales for this game, they put it on PS4.
Yeah, and like I think this game got hurt 3 different ways, right? Where like, yeah, it was Xbox exclusive, and yeah, you can argue it was on Xbox 360 also. Which that version of the game also looks fantastic for an Xbox 360 game.
Yes.
But, you know, it was exclusive to the Xbox platform, which at the time, and still true to today, like it's being outsold by PS4, right? It was an exclusive that it was a franchise that had been, you know, kind of known for its loyalty to PlayStation, you know, even though it came out on Xbox platforms later. But like it had always, PlayStation fans have always felt kind of ownership over this game, to the point where like people were mad, so they didn't support it on the Xbox. People didn't want to buy an Xbox for it. Came out around the time Fallout 4, it came out on the same day as Fallout 4, and then a year later, PlayStation fans had already gotten their kind of Tomb Raider fix through Uncharted 4, you know, when this game finally came out, people were kind of over it, and so. Ooh.
And plus the sales of the first one, you know, Square at that time they weren't happy with the sales for it.
Yeah, 7 million in sales Square wasn't happy with on a reboot of a franchise that people had kind of been down on for a long time. So
right. So yeah, just like you said, like with Uncharted and everything, they had their whole fix. Oh,
yeah,
gotta go this way.
Yeah, it was definitely a game that was like hurt multiple times, which is why I don't know. Every time somebody asks me like what one of the best games on a platform is, like this is always one of the games I point to, and I know that you point to as well, because like it's such a fantastic game. Like I mean, I've always said that just the rebooted Tomb Raider franchises are better, in my opinion, than Uncharted. The gameplay is better. I think Lara's a better character than Nathan Drake, although I think Uncharted has a better supporting cast, definitely, which is actually what makes Nathan Drake a compelling character, is like all the supporting characters and how they interact. Like that's what makes that character interesting, whereas Lara is an interesting character by herself, and she kind of has to be, because no offense to Crystal Dynamics, but they never really fleshed out any of the side characters except for maybe Jonah, you know, which is the guy you're kind of seeing right now in this cutscene.
I can say this game looks way better than Uncharted 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think the environments are just as stunning. I think the character models, I think the character models are just as good. Like I honestly think like it's close in comparison on you know, the way those games look. Oh no.
Yeah.
I accidentally jumped into a hole. That was my bad. Don't worry, guys. If this is your first episode and you go back, that is not the worst thing I've done this season, is jump into a crackling hole while there's an avalanche chasing me. So, remember the Metro episode when I kept jumping?
Oh, goodness. Jeez.
Ooh, rough.
Look, the episode, we both were trying to figure out what to do in this game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Metro is a game that you should probably sit down and spend more than 45 minutes on to figure out how to play. But we did it anyway.
Yes.
But I think the set pieces in this game are better. I think, you know, I think moving through the open environments is better than like the kind of linear shoot-a-thon that is Uncharted. Like, again, that's my personal opinion. I don't think Uncharted's a bad game in any way. I just think that in terms of the games I like to play, I think Tomb Raider is a much better game. I mean,
I think...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I think if you really want to show something off impressive, Uncharted 4 is good. Mm-hmm. Like to show off the system. I mean, I think it's a good game. You know, but I think this blows it out the water. And definitely, if you guys checked out our Hellblade video, you can see just like how beautiful that game looked.
Yeah.
And how that does Uncharted 4.
Yeah. And like I think, you know, we did Hellblade last week, and I think Hellblade honestly looks better than Uncharted 4. Like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm crapping on Uncharted, because I'm not. I think that game is good. I think, you know, Uncharted 2 and 3 are probably the pinnacle of the series. I kind of think 4 was a little bit bloated. Lost Legacy was great. I think Lost Legacy. Honestly, I think Lost Legacy is the best game in the series. Personally, it's just long enough. There's no filler. You've got compelling characters with Nadine and Chloe. Like, I just feel like that game is better than the other games. Maybe it's just because, you know, we've had 4 or 5 games with Drake, and it's just like, okay, we know this character. His shtick is kind of done, right? Like, we know what to expect. And then the thing that bothered me about Uncharted 4, honestly, was like they introduced a character that's supposed to be important to the lore of this character's life that we knew nothing about until the 4th game, and he just shows up and is expected to be important. Like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way the whole time I was playing too. Like, nothing against like Troy Baker and Sam Drake or anything, because like the performance was fantastic and that character is interesting enough. I just like, I don't know, man. It's weird to introduce a character that's supposed to be important to this whole series in the finale of the series, you know?
Right.
And I get that they try to do the flashback stuff and make that important, but man, dude, this scene in the apartment is just so good.
Yeah, I'm playing no Survivor, so I made my game like the hardest difficulty.
Well, I'm playing on normal. Did you end up seeing the movie?
Yes, I did.
Did you like the movie?
Yes, I did. It really was good. It was. It's not an Academy Award, but as for a
Suicide Squad won one.
What'd you say?
I said Suicide Squad won one.
That is true. But and I like Suicide Squad. I'm not gonna lie about that. Get that. Sorry, I'm trying to focus. Because if I die, I got to do all of this over.
Right, dude. The hair physics in this game are amazing.
Oh, amazing!
Like, I remember, like, that was like the big joke, but like, it truly is. Like, the way Crystal Dynamics does hair is just awesome. And I know it was like the big joke when they remodeled Lara for Definitive Edition, like the hair, but like, it really is. Like, it's something you don't really think about, but having good hair in games is like important. You notice it.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie was fantastic. The acting was good. The fight scenes, like the good choreographed fight scenes, were okay. How they did the puzzles and everything, they like really make you feel suspenseful. But it's just something to sit down and eat some popcorn, or I had nachos and cheese. It's just watch. Nice. Like not to question anything, just be like, oh, this is stupid. Why did it wasn't anything like that. It was just like complete fun,
right?
Just to watch. Like it's a movie I'm looking forward to buying on Blu-ray when it comes out. So I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I still haven't seen it. I want to. I just been busy.
I mean, the acting is the acting, but I mean, she's the character. I don't know. I forgot the actress. She sells Laura.
Yeah. Alicia Vikander. She plays Lara in the new movie as of this recording.
Which I think it'll probably be out on Blu-ray in May, or by the time you guys see this, there'll probably be some announcement that the movie's out on Blu-ray. Which I'll definitely go pick up.
Yeah, probably Redbox it at some point. And then if it's good enough, I'll probably get it at some point too. But yeah. Sorry, I'm this. The cutscenes are good. I enjoy watching them. Oh, run away! The car's gonna blow up. I do wish. Ow. I do wish in the trailer for that movie though they didn't ruin the like 2 pistol thing where like they're showing her the weapons and she's like, I'll take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was fun in the first game where you get the 2 pistols, but like, I don't know. I wish they wouldn't have ruined it in the trailer, because that's such like a fan servicey type thing.
Well, I don't want to say anything about that part.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it is in the movie, so but I just don't want to say
In Dad's research.
anything else about it.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have said anything either, but oh well. It's been out. By the
I
time
mean, if
this
it's
episode
in
comes
the
out, it's been 3 months since the movie's been out, so you should have seen it already.
yes,
um, but yeah, this kind of like this. I don't want to say tutorial part of the game, but like where they kind of show you, where you're kind of supposed to. Jeez. Where you kind of go in and learn like, oh, you're supposed to learn like research these different ruins to learn different languages and up your knowledge of the different languages and stuff. I thought it was really kind of clever way to kind of do an upgrade thing without having to like force RPG elements into a game, you know?
yes.
I thought it was really smart that they did it that way.
Years old, at least. It
I love this opening area of the game. I really do.
Incredible. Some kind of marker. Can't quite make out the translation. But this word.
Yeah, my difficulty. I think I already said that. You know, if I mess up, I gotta do everything all over.
Yeah, why would you,
Eh.
why would you do that to yourself?
um, like a challenge.
Fair. You know what? Fair.
And plus, I beat the game like already like multiple times, so
Yeah.
it's like it's not a loss to me or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, he's shown here, performing healing miracles. Dad's notes mention this.
I like the man, I think reading all this stuff and like researching the items and stuff looks really cool because you could tell they did like
Their weapons.
Crystal Dynamics did such a good job of you know pretty much what Ubisoft does a lot where like they with Assassin's Creed where they actually do a ton of research on
Constantinople,
these areas and the,
Mhm.
the items and the history of the items and stuff,
Trinity.
and they actually have like a lot of lore in here that just
He led his followers
fantastic.
through the desert to the oasis.
I'm learning about Jesus right now. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is what I'm learning about.
I thought you said that she was worried about Jesus. I'm like, huh?
No.
They're after the tomb. I've got to find it before them.
I gotta swing.
Secret entrance. Yeah, and if I was playing this game like for real, I would be in that room for like 20 minutes trying to make sure I found everything.
Yeah.
You know, like this
There you
that
go.
opening room. And now I'm like
Amazing.
this pan over the ruins when you first get through that room with all like the artifacts in it,
Uh huh.
and that pan of just like the ruins that you're about to go into, the temple on the side of the mountain.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that, I'm like, wow. Like even though like we've had games do that for so long, it just every time environments like doing environments right and just really getting the feel for them always impresses me when I start a game, you know. And you know, nothing against like games like Zelda that take an artistic direction with their game because of like, you know, they want to have a different art direction, you know, than realistic. But when you have an environment that's as stunning and realistic as this, it's always super impressive. Like, I am always impressed.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, I played this before Uncharted, and, like, I don't know, I still feel like this game's environments look... I don't want to say... I don't know if better is the wrong word, but they look more lived in, I want to say. You know, they have that structural degradation that I feel like Uncharted just kind of doesn't. Like, Uncharted kind of feels too clean when you're visiting places, you know? Where, like, you look at Tomb Raider, you look at the... You look at the cracks in the walls and the stone structures falling apart, and maybe I've just played a lot more Tomb Raider than Uncharted to notice, but like, I mean, and there's only been one Uncharted game that is running on a graphically impressive engine. Not that 1, 2, and 3 weren't graphically impressive for the time, but like 4 is just on a whole nother level than those first 3. But like when you compare Tomb Raider's environments to that, it's just insane. Oh my gosh, I remember that first time, like, the light goes out and she has to break open a new light source. And the skeleton just appears on the screen, you're like... Oh, dude, I jumped. The first 3 times I played through this first part, I jumped. And, like, just seeing the scorpions crawl around is... I don't know, man. There's a lot of little details that you see in this game that you just, like... I can't believe they added that little touch, you know?
There was a battle.
Yeah.
Like the swaying cobwebs. Usually you'd walk in and, like, the cobwebs would be there, but, like, they would be just kind of, like, static, you know? When you walk in here, they're just kind of swaying and they're kind of breaking apart. You know, it's impressive, man. This game is a visual masterpiece, I think. And it makes me... And another reason why we did both Tomb Raider games this season, too, is because Shadow of the Tomb Raider... By the time this episode comes out, we will know a bunch of stuff on Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which, you know, we'll probably talk about. We'll probably do some sort of...
Then that's it to 2 more weeks, right?
It's the 27th.
Yeah, okay, so
not this
the time of this recording.
Yeah, it's on April 27th, so yeah, it'll be we'll know a bunch about that game beforehand or after this recording, so yeah. Ooh.
Damn it. That was too close.
Well, I know it's the final final game in one of her stories.
Yeah, well, they said it's the climactic conclusion to Lara's origin story. I hope that doesn't mean it's the last game in this reboot. I really don't, because these games are great, and I would love to see them, like, have a take on not like an older Lara, but like a more experienced Lara, where she, like, knows what she's doing, you know?
Right.
Kind of. Let's see, can I climb up here? Where's the climbing? I can climb somewhere, right?
But they can't kill her off. I know that much.
Yeah, no, dude. Tomb Raiders 2. I mean, I think these games are too successful and too well loved for them to be like, okay, we're gonna kill her off, but because, like, unlike Uncharted, I think Tomb Raider couldn't exist without Lara. You know?
Yeah. I mean, there really wasn't no kind of adventure game besides, in my opinion, and this might be wrong, like Super Metroid. I feel like that was the kind of adventure game that I could recognize. That's just like a pure adventure.
Yeah.
Where when Tomb Raider came, before it got like kind of in an open world linear sense, you know, that the Tomb Raider games were always level based.
Yeah.
You made it, Dad.
So, like, Uncharted is level based still, but they just try to some parts of the area it was just open.
Yeah, like that, like the area in Uncharted 4 with the Jeep, where, like,
yeah,
it's kind of like they wanted you to. You can tell. I feel like Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, to an extent, was an experiment with tech, so they could try certain things with The Last of Us. Because I feel like Uncharted was like a necessity for them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like Last of Us is what Naughty Dog really wants to do, and they did kind of what Nintendo does sometimes with tech, where like they'll experiment with tech in one game to put in another, but they'll still release the game to see if if people enjoy the tech.
Right.
You know, and
I mean, I think that's the way that you can get feedback, and you can see like, okay, this is where it works and this is where it doesn't work. But if there was an improvement to the parts that didn't work, then we would know where to go forward with.
right. And that's kind of like, in Nintendo, I kind of feel like that's how Federation Force. That's why Federation Force exists, because like they wanted to experiment with a multiplayer style game. I think they're interested in having a games as a service thing similar to Destiny and The Division, and something but more accessible to people. And Metroid is the perfect kind of franchise to do that with, because of the history of the bounty hunters and going out and doing little bounty hunts and multiplayer, like competitive versus Ooh.
Which, before we go on,
I
everybody, please check our expansion pack where me and Corey talk about a Helldivers Metroid game.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time.
Check out both parts, 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yeah. But that first part especially, I feel like we had a lot more fleshed out ideas
Yeah.
just brainstorming that. But, I think that's why Federation Force exists, and I think that's why it exists on 3DS instead of a home console specifically, is because, like, they want to. I mean, not that there's not fantastic games on. Oh jeez, I'm gonna die. Oh jeez. Ooh, that was close. That was so close. Oh, that was so close. I think that's why Federation Force exists on 3DS instead of a home console, because as much as the games were fantastic on 3DS, like, oh my gosh, I wish this gunshots would stop coming through the controller. I think it more and less was an experiment. I think that's where they like to experiment with stuff. Triforce Heroes was an experiment.
Yes.
To see how a Four Swords like style game could exist on a handheld, and I guarantee you we will get a version of both of those franchises on Switch at some point. Like what do you call it? Federation Force and what was that other game? Triforce Heroes. I guarantee you we will see a version of both of those games on Switch at some point. Because I think they really want that. I think they want a games as a service without it being a service. And like, I know we have Splatoon and ARMS, and Mario Kart did a similar thing, and yeah, I'm telling you.
Got to raise the water.
Oh, I need to raise the water still. Okay. Other side. So, and to me, that's what Naughty Dog was doing for Uncharted. I mean, not to a greater extent that Nintendo does it, but like, they were experimenting with open stuff, and that's why you have the Jeep sequence in Uncharted 4, and that's why that fourth or fifth chapter was really an open world space to explore in Lost Odyssey. So, yeah, I think we will see that exist somehow on Switch, and I think The Last of Us Part 2 will have. Honestly, I would be surprised if it wasn't an open world game.
I just don't have high hopes for that game.
I mean, I'm not 100% on board with Last of Us. Like, I don't. Oh, look, the first 20 minutes of that game were terrifying. Like, and not in like a fun way. Like, I don't like it when people do harm to children. I don't like. I mean, spoilers for that game if you haven't played it. I'm sorry, we were spoiling the first 20 minutes of that game. But like, when the zombie outbreak starts out, and like, you're trying to save the girl because you get in that car wreck and you're carrying her and she's already struggling to survive, and then you like straight up show her being murdered. Like I can't. I'm sorry, I can't handle that kind of stuff. I just can't. And like it prevented me from enjoying the rest of that game because that's literally all I can think about. And I know that game is supposed to invoke those kinds of emotions and those kinds of feelings, but like there's a point for me at least where like you evoke emotion and feelings, but and then there's this is just cruel, and who thought to make this part of the game. And like that's why I'm not excited for Last of Us Part 2 because because of that, what happened in that first game. And I'm not like trying to be like a baby about it or anything. I just like those aren't the types of games for me, and that for me was a little bit too far. Like I don't care if you're gonna hack someone's arm off in the game or like straight up murder people, like whatever, that's games, you shoot people and stuff. But when you are like murdering a helpless child to like evoke emotion, that's just like I can't do it.
I just thought it was asinine and stupid. Like it was just like you're doing this to give emotion, and it didn't feel natural. It's just I'm like, you treated this as a set piece.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't do. I'm not saying it's not a creative thing, but we don't have no relationship with the child getting killed. The first thing that you did wrong was that when the girl got shot, the dad was holding it. So wouldn't the bullets also hit him? But nothing is wrong with them. There's no holes in the girl. They mean to tell me a story this big and this graphics looking kind of thing. You can't show no bullet holes in a child. Like she got hit with what, like an AK-47. I just thought it was asinine and stupid. I'm like, this is a set piece.
Yeah.
And they should have set it up where at least within 2 levels you have some kind of connection with this girl. There's no connection to the player or the character. It's a character model that goes through a set piece and dies.
Yeah.
That's not stupid.
Yeah.
So I can understand where you're coming from, and you guys could probably be like, well, didn't you just talk about the Hellblade thing with them doing Silent Hill? I was like, yes, but that's invoking fear, and with that fear, with those two, with the children, they can help the house, which helps them, or they can hurt the house, which hurts them, which brings them more fear.
Yeah.
So there is a risk and a reward on what you do with those characters and how they handle the situation.
Yeah.
That's different than what The Last of Us is about. I can understand that, it's more of a survival game and being quick on your toes and thinking. Yeah. Than it is just like an action game that Naughty Dog is known for.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, this scene where she's hiding and the water's just pouring through the pillars of the building.
Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, like I wish in The Last of Us, I feel like at the beginning, if they would have just come out and like he kind of told that story to Ellie in a kind of like a conversation through a cutscene almost, would have been better for me to be like, oh, this is why he's like protecting her. And like I know at the end of the game it kind of ties it all together where like, okay, he's trying to protect her or whatever because he couldn't protect his daughter or whatever, but you can invoke that same kind of emotional spark by telling that story through a cutscene and like quick cuts and stuff through the cutscene without having to make the player play through it. Like, I don't know. For me, that was a little bit too much, but I understand, like, I'm in the minority, and I know a lot of people really think that game is, like, one of the best games in terms of storytelling and stuff, but for me, like, that part was, like, a little bit too much for me. So, I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if The Last of Us had a lot of open world-ish type sections. Almost... I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't an open world game, to be honest with you. But I mean, I think that would make that game less interesting too. You know, I really think an open world attack on that game would make it less interesting. But
Well, we'll see in the future because I don't even know what story they're trying to tell with The Last of Us.
yeah, but I'm infinitely more excited for God of War and Spider-Man than I am for Last of Us. I don't know. We've talked about this so many times, but I feel like I'm just not as high on Naughty Dog as a lot of people are. Like,
I mean, I do enjoy their games.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say
I enjoy them. I love Jak and Daxter 1 to death, and I like the Uncharted series a lot. I just like there's games out there that are like just as good by developers that aren't getting the notification that they should be, you know, or the what do you call it, the like the recognition,
the recognition.
yeah, wow, that they deserve. I'm skipping words today. Fill in the blank. Ad libs. You know, like for like Tomb Raider, like I feel like does just as well as a job telling a story, and has just as compelling characters, and plays better than Uncharted for me. You know, and Crystal Dynamics doesn't really get a ton of credit for these games. I mean, they do. They get credit for how great they've done rebooting the series and stuff, but like not a Naughty Dog style credit.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve as well. You know, and I think Rocksteady for Batman, how they redid kind of Batman and tell the stories through that game. You know, they get credit for making a great licensed Batman game, but they don't get the credit that Naughty Dog gets for making Uncharted, you know? And I think the Arkham series is also a better series than Uncharted. But that's just me. I know I'm kind of in the minority for that.
Well, Tomb Raider. Right to Tomb Raider.
I know. Tomb Raider's so good. So we're kind of moving into the last kind of little bit of this episode. What do you want to see from Shadow? Like what do you because it's not being developed wholly by Crystal Dynamics. Eidos Montreal is taking the brunt of the game, where Crystal Dynamics is kind of overseeing the project because they're working on that Avengers game.
Yes.
So what do you want to see from Eidos Montreal's take on Tomb Raider?
I think we will finally get a conclusion or a fun wrap up between Laura's parents and how that last tomb or that last adventure that she takes on has part 1 and part 2 playing a bigger part, all together.
Yeah.
So I think it will showcase that this new adventure that she's gonna go on has finally just sorry, I was doing a cutscene. I think it will finally just be okay, Laura has come to the conclusion, and what she did in 1 or 2 actually helped save the world. I think it's gonna be something where she'll finally get through some demons or something like that, some supernatural spirits, and now everything is final.
Yeah.
She saved the world, and what she did in 1 and 2 pretty much prepared her for this grand adventure in 3.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I mean, I would like to see kind of more Rise. Honestly, I don't want them to deviate too much from this game, but I would also like them to see, because I would like them to see them incorporate some elements of Deus Ex into the game.
Yes.
You know, some kind of choose your own path style adventure where and I'm not talking like upgrade trees or anything. I'm talking like if you do this thing, this will affect the game later. You know, and maybe not like big changes, but like, you know, if you do this one thing, maybe it affects how a character feels about you later on the game, or you know, how encounters may kind of change later in the game. I would like to see kind of because Deus Ex does some interesting things with upgrade trees as well. I would like them to take some kind of
Which that's a game that I need to start.
yeah, also a PlayStation Plus game. I was really surprised last probably what, November, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I don't know, I would just really like to see some kind of bleed over from those games. I think I think as long as they follow this formula and add a little bit of their own flair to the game,
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, it would do wonders for them. I think adding some cool new gadgets, I think, would be a cool thing, as opposed to like just the bow and arrow and guns. Like, I think having cool gadgets would benefit. Maybe not like 40 different gadgets, but, you know, introducing like 1 or 2 different things
Yeah.
could really help. Maybe like upgrading your bow to like one of the, like, almost like the bow that you use in Horizon or Crisis or something. Like, make it look really cool and kind of cybernetic almost.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And like, I know it doesn't really fit the Tomb Raider aesthetic or anything, but I think it would be kind of cool to have like, or like get some cool like alternate costumes in there from Deus Ex would be cool. Yeah, man, I think adding some interesting things from other IP would be cool. So
I wonder if this game will deal with time travel.
yeah, but I like how grounded these games are. And like, that was like my only complaint about the ending of the first one, where like it got kind of, you know, it got kind of supernatural in a way that I didn't really care for. But
Yeah, but I'm like, kind of with the stuff that led up to it, you were kind of getting hints that you were going to do with the supernatural.
yeah,
So.
I got some new outfits.
Not again.
I'm changing my outfit. I want to look cool.
Yes.
Maybe if it lets me. If it loads it up.
I'm gonna pause it right there.
Oh, please don't tell me my game. Oh, there it is. I was like, I hope my game.
Sorry, everybody had to
Hope my game.
stretch.
Spirit Weaver? What is this? Like, I think it would be cool to add some, maybe even like, there's also going to be a Final Fantasy crossover, I think they announced.
Yeah.
So I would expect some Final Fantasy 15 outfits in there, which could be interesting, I guess. So we'll see about that, but I don't want to wear that. Let's see. What is this? She's got a hood up. That's kind of not cool. There's a lot of weird outfits in this game. Nightshade. I can't really tell because all the outfits are covered in snow. Because I'm in Siberia. Oh well, we'll just use this. It's fine. Alright, so guess I'll save, right? Oh, it's got saves. Alright. Let's just, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, this is, I'm just kind of exploring the area now. Okay. the other thing I like about this game, and I hope they do a good job in that in Shadow as well, is the environments.
Oh yes, the environments have to be detailed. They have to be beautiful.
Yeah, and like I mean I expect that. I don't expect them to be ugly or anything. Like they've already kind of proven that this engine can handle. I am kind of surprised we're not getting a Switch version though. I mean, like, I know we kind of say we want everything on Switch or whatever, but like, and you know, I know certain games will never ever come to Switch, but like, I am kind of surprised we're not getting something on that platform.
I think we'll see something. I think Square Enix has, just them as a company, has different plans for that system.
Yeah.
So, we got Octopath Traveler coming in a couple of months. So, I think they're gonna be focusing on small little games that could do major impact, which would do good business for them. And then like some of the bigger games like this, like the Tomb Raider series, will stay on Xbox One. Now, if they can port all three games or do something with it, I'm up for it. I think people will be happy that they're getting big games like this on that platform.
Yeah. I mean, there's already the rumor that like Doom 2 might be coming, so I mean, it's not like it's not getting big games.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe these and I don't know. We don't really know anything about Doom 2 or even if it exists yet. But
Yeah, but shoot, if you just look at the footage for Wolfenstein 2, and they were just like, this is not even the final version. They was just like, this is like they're just beginning. Like we still got work to do. If that's just the beginning of them doing the port, that looks good.
yeah, I mean, Wolfenstein looks fantastic. It looks better than Doom. Like, I mean, it looks a lot better than Doom, and Doom looks great on Switch. And I can't believe the work Panic Button put into that game. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this is one of those projects that Panic Button hasn't announced yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
And who cares if it takes a little bit longer to come out? Like, I don't care. Take your time. Make it look right. Like, South Park took 6 months to come out on Switch, but I mean, look at it. It looks great. It runs great. As much as we've seen of it. And I know that's not the same style game as this in any stretch either, but you can make things work. So
Yes.
what's this? Where am I going? I found something. Oh, these mushrooms! I need these. So, wait, is this the right way? I don't think this is the right way. Nice. I'm just kind of looking for stuff.
I have learned all I can from the carnage inside the Prophet's tomb.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we're coming up on the hour mark here on our finale of Pod and Play. So, any final thoughts on Rise of the Tomb Raider, Ed, and anything about Shadow or the series as a whole before we wrap up?
Everybody, do play Rise of the Tomb Raider if you own an Xbox One, PC, or a PlayStation 4. Pick it up.
It's also, if you own an Xbox One and Game Pass, it's on there. Like, this game is on
Yes.
Game Pass. So, I mean, even if you don't want to, like, quote-unquote pay for it, which you should because it's a great game, but if you don't want to pay for it and you already have Game Pass, it's on there. Like, download it. Try it out. Honestly.
Yes. Other than that, I enjoyed our second season of How to Play. We had some great discussions. we really touched on different subjects of what we like to see and kind of what's going in society, and going in the gaming industry. So, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Cannot wait for season 3 to roll out for us to play these games and to talk about it and discuss different things. So, just want to thank you guys about it. Share this with your friends. If they are interested in games that been on their radar or that's in their backlog, show them this and let them know that why we enjoyed this game, or of it pick some interest to it, and also listen to some of the topics that we discussed. It's good listening while actually playing the game. You feel like one of us joining one of us as we play.
Yeah, and we've this is the end of this season. Season 3 will start in September, and it'll run September, October, November. We've already got a plan laid out for that season, so it's got it. It won't always be the most recent games like we've shown this season, but we're showing games that we feel are kind of worth looking at and kind of maybe try to tell an important message or like have an important meaning to gaming right now, like or just seemingly maybe a little bit underrated, or maybe we will play a huge game. Like I think God of War will be a game that we kind of play in season 3, because that it's important for PlayStation to reboot a franchise that was really stale. Speaking of Tomb Raider, reboot
Right.
a franchise that was seemingly stale. I do want to play some more Switch stuff. I want to play some Wii U stuff that was seemingly underrated. I want to play some Xbox stuff that was seemingly underrated. Like Sunset Overdrive is a good example of a game that I
Yes.
want to get to season 3. We're already in pre-pro for that, and probably partway recording season 3 by the time you see this episode. So I'm really excited for season 3. In between season 2 and 3, though, Ed and I have decided to do a 8-episode run of 2018 edition of Indie Showcase. So we're gonna show some of our favorite indie games in between.
Yay!
So that'll run from the. Let me pull up a calendar here real quick just to update you guys. I'm sorry, I'm not really playing Tomb Raider right now, but here you guys can look at Lara's hair in the wind. But that will probably run. Let's see. That'll run the last 2 weeks of June. So, it starts on June 23rd, and will run through August 11th, and then 3 weeks later will be season 3. That indie showcase will be in the same time slot as Pod and Play. So Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Those dates it'll run through. Also, if you like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, we'll keep you updated on what shows are coming next, when the schedule is happening and stuff. So, we've got a lot of stuff planned. We're not going to announce what games we're doing yet because we are still kind of fleshing out that list a little bit. But
Yes.
I think it's safe to say you can expect a little blue friend who carries a shovel around. That's all I can say.
Mega Man?
Yeah, Mega Man. Mega Shovel Man. Shovel Man, the next great robot master.
Well, there is the new Mega Man that's supposed to be coming, so.
I know. That's going to be great. So that's kind of our plan now that season 2, this is the finale of season 2. That's our plan moving forward. We are kind of recording all this stuff in advance because I do have a baby on the way, and we want to make sure that we have content for you to watch while I'm kind of taking some time off. So we're kind of doubling down on everything right now. So, so the 8-episode run of Indie Showcase will be coming soon. The season 3 will start on. Let me get my calendar out again. It'll start. September 1st. It'll start September 1st, and it will run through November 24th, which is my birthday.
Yes.
But yeah, anyways, check out Squad Goals, which is our multiplayer setup. It's really, really a fun time. We are probably going to have a lot of stuff out by now, like State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, Halo 3, finishing up that. Fortnite, PUBG, a lot of the Tom Clancy stuff like Rainbow Six and The Division, and I think we're going to try to do some Wildlands. I'm not sure. You can find that every Monday and Friday here on NGR Radio at 10 a.m. Eastern. Like, subscribe, and share. Check out Trophy Hunters, which is Nerds Gone Platinum's trophy hunting. Why are they keep playing Tony Hawk? What is Jason's issue with Tony Hawk? Does he just need to play that game? He's
trying to get that trophy. So root him on, everybody. Root him on.
Jason, I love you and I love all your success with Nerds Gone Platinum, but what's with Tony Hawk? Need to
reevaluate your life.
Yeah. Jeez. There are way better games to be getting trophies. I don't know if that was a fan request or what. Don't get me wrong. It's really funny to watch him play that. And I really enjoy all 35 YouTube notifications I get for copyright strikes against the songs in that game. But, jeez. Anyways. Yeah, check out our family of podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/NGR Radio. We're going to start streaming squad goals on there as well. So, you know, I'm really still trying to figure out a Twitch schedule. I apologize for that. Yeah, check out all of our content. I'm really proud of all of it. I'm really proud of everybody and all their hard work. Thank you guys for making this show what it is. We wouldn't be doing it without, you know, your support either. So, Ed, thank you for doing this with me. You know, I'm really proud of everybody. I'm really proud of the team. So, yeah, this has been season 2 of Pod and Play here on NGR Radio. Subscribe, share, like, download podcasts, all that good stuff. And we will see you in September for season 3.
Hey, everybody, let's Pod and Play.